I'm watching 1,000 Ways to Die, and I think I know a couple of my own. And throughout the course of this, I will relay, maybe using hand motions to help describe how people die, my dozen ways to die. Okay, so one way I always thought people could die was probably from choking, and of course it's basic, but I'm talking choking on hair, because this may seem gross, but when I was little, I sucked on my hair all the time. I mean, when I was little, I would put, like, fingers in my mouth, usually not thumbs, I'm never a thumb sucker, but, like, really, fingers, or the tops of bottles, or even stuffed animals. But one of my favorite things was my hair, especially when it was wet, and I would just suck it out, and it'd be on my tongue, and I couldn't get it off, and I'd just ignore it, and I'd swallow it, and, at one point, actually more than one time, I got hairs wrapped around my taste buds, like, and then I tried to pull it, it would, like, constrain the taste bud, and it was terrible, terrible pain, like, pinching, or nails, like, iron nails into my tongue, and I couldn't stand it, and, I don't know what brought this thought, but I imagined it wrapping around my uvula, and pulling on it, and I was like, oh my god, that'd be awful, and then, oh my god, what if it got, like, in my esophagus, and then it's, what if I choke on my hair? And I mean, dying is bad enough, but your last dying thought would be, they're gonna find out that I was just sucking on my hair. What a way to go. Another way to die would probably be murder, maybe like by my boyfriend or something, because I don't listen to him, especially when it comes to movies, and he's telling me, hey, Kristen, you need time before and after so that you can cut it out, you know, or have a fade in or something, and I'm like, okay, and then I don't do it. That's why, you know, the beginning sequence, and then the quiet, and then the action, and then the quiet, and then the actual action going on. I need to remember to do that, especially if any of my future videos are going to be a success. And, since we're on the topic, let me try and see how Rod would kill someone. You see, Rod isn't very violent. I mean, he has angry streaks, but who doesn't? But, I mean, I'm much more violent than he is. I hit people instantly, and if I were to kill someone, I mean, not that, I'd pour cement down their throat. And then it would solidify, and they'd be like, oh, my stomach is so full and hard, and oh no, my stomach, oh. It'd be gross. I'm not excited to do it. I'm never gonna do it, but I mean, maybe I'll put that in one of my movies. Rod would kill someone by probably using his Hellgrass. So, since this is a test, I figured I might as well not just test stringing videos together and music like I had mentioned earlier. I should also perhaps test maybe one of those kind of Ashton Kutcher things where, like, he's talking, and then bam, it's a different camera angle. It's a different camera angle. Wonderful. This is what I was talking about with the changing views and whatever. And I criticize people like Rod's dad, and so he might murder me with Hellgrass. But like I was saying, different camera angles, definitely, it keeps it going, and without them, they'll lose interest, and they'll be like, I've been staring at the same thing for so long. The only real problem with changing camera angles, though, is remembering where you were, 'cause I didn't, and it just messes everything up. There's a lot to consider when you're making a movie. So, my next way to die, out of the dozen ways to die, is whiplash from trying to remember where the camera was. Another thing you have to know when you're recording is that sometimes the audience likes to be shocked, and nothing here is going to be particularly shocking unless they suddenly go but one way to shock your audience without really distracting them is moving forward in time. Like, let's say that it was a race, and these people are racing, and they're racing, and he's all ahead, and it goes into something in his head, and he's like, wow, I'm doing really well. And then it shoots back, and there's someone right there, and he crosses the finish line. It's like, oh, too bad, so sad, you didn't win. That shocks the audience. What I did right here is move. This is a different room than before. And that does. It shocks the audience. They wonder why. And it's split second, and it's mostly subconscious, but it works.
I've been walking around looking
This
for
is
you
my
for
brother.
the last
Really?
half hour.
I'm right now. It's been out there the whole time. Kristen, you're going to start over. Delete it and start
Who's
over.
that? See, look at me, shocking you again. I'm in another room. Oh. Okay. Personally, I like the other room better. But in case you couldn't tell, it was kind of invaded. I just ran up here. So now I have 3 new ways to die. The first of which, if I can get to it, is the guillotine one. And you know how they always said, ooh, guillotine, cut your neck. But apparently there was a problem with the blades always getting dull, and they couldn't sharpen it. So I always thought it would be neat, and I wish I could show you this, if I was still in the room I wanted to be in, with the glass table I could, a glass guillotine. Because then it would come down, and if it was sharp enough, it'd go through, and if it wasn't, it would shatter, and then the pieces would just go flying and cut you everywhere. And so, as gruesome as it is, it'd be quicker than 13 tries of getting the guillotine to slice through your neck while you're screaming in pain and flailing because all your nerves are like, ah! This is my brother Steven from before. And in case you can't tell, it says Devil Boy with his little tails and his horns. You see, my sister did that because we don't all get along. Ever. Maybe at one point 2 of us will get along. Maybe sometimes we don't. But either way, family can be a real bitch. And that's why my next way to die is the reason family is a bitch. You see, people, you know, brothers and sisters, they fight, sisters and sisters, they fight, brothers and brothers, I don't know, because I only have one brother. But I think this is built into us so that we don't perform incest, which is gross. It just is, because we hate our siblings. It's what kids do. Kids and teenagers, they hate their siblings, so they won't perform incest and wind up with disgusting diseases that will kill you.